Hello ponies, what do you think of mine? Do you like mine? Oh, they're so gorgeous, aren't they? But not as gorgeous as the Aprilia RS 660 factory. Everyone, welcome back to another video on this awesome motorcycle, which has very kindly been provided by Fraser's Motorcycles. We'll talk more about them in a little bit. But you guys, it is now comparison time. Where does this bike stack up against the likes of the Yamaha R7 or other 600 Supersport 750cc, the middleweight class of bikes? How does this bike fare against the competition? If you guys have checked out our other videos on this bike, then you'll know already how I feel about it. It's a fantastic motorcycle, so much fun, so much torque, and a load of juicy horsepower as well. It's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's a fantastic riding experience. It's really, really good. And look, when it comes to parallel twins, you guys, this might just be the best out there right now. Well, this weight class anyway. All right. But so let's first talk about the R7, because as much as I really like the MT-07 and I really appreciate that bike, I think that's a great middleweight naked. Unfortunately, when Yamaha put that bike in a Supersport frame, not a Supersport frame, in a Supersport type motorcycle, it didn't really pay off. I was hoping it would be a much better match than it ended up being. I was, in the end, a little bit disappointed with that bike, which is a real shame, because it looks absolutely gorgeous. And, well, if you haven't seen our ride review of that bike, you guys, definitely go ahead and check that one out. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, you'll kind of get a feel in the tone of that video that as much as it was a good bike, unfortunately there have been many other parallel twins out there that I've ridden that have been better. Alright, case in point, the RS 660 factory. The RS 660 and the factory, you guys, they're both amazing bikes. And I don't know how Aprilia keep doing it, but they are putting the rest of the class to shame. The rest of the competition, they really are putting them to shame with this bike, with this engine. It is an absolute masterpiece. It's amazing. And the fact it's pushing as much horsepower as it is, I mean, it's unthinkable how much horsepower Aprilia are able to push out of this quite a small engine by all accounts, to be honest, you guys. Like, you expect 100 horsepower from a twin cylinder engine in a 1000cc bike or a 900cc bike, but you don't expect that in this bike. You don't expect that at all. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. But anyway, so yes, I would definitely take this over the R7, even though the R7 is coming in quite significantly cheaper than this bike, and that's probably the biggest caveat with this bike, is the price point. All right, now this one is about 12 grand. I have seen them on offer for like 10 grand, depending on the time of year, so maybe you might get lucky, and that's definitely well worth it. All right, you guys, if you can find one of these bikes for 10k, that's amazing, because the original RS 660 is around about 10k. So yeah, like 10.5 or something like that. So they are expensive bikes, but you do pay for what you get, and this bike, I think, is worth it at that price point. I honestly do. Which might sound crazy. It's a parallel twin, for Christ's sake. 12 grand for a parallel twin? I could get a Kawasaki 1000 SX for that price point. Yes, you could. And that's a fantastic bike as well. You should definitely pick that one over this. The 1000 SX is such an underrated bike. It's really good. Or the 1100 SX, as it is today. thought it was a UFO in the sky there, but no, it's not. It's a prop plane. But yeah, that's the only unfortunate thing about this bike, is how expensive it is. But let's talk about some of the other competitors where I think this gets a little bit more interesting. So Ninja 650 from Kawasaki, Ninja 650. That's a great bike. It is a great bike. It's not quite as performance oriented as this bike is, but it's producing a lovely amount of torque, and it's got a nice amount of horsepower as well, but unfortunately in traditional parallel twin fashion it does drop off when you get to the top end of the RPMs, unfortunately. Whereas you don't get that with this bike. This bike you get sustained torque all throughout the range. Woohoo! So yeah, Ninja 650. I think I would take the Ninja 650 over the R7, but again, I would still take this over the Ninja 650, even though again, like the Ninja 650 is coming in even cheaper than the R7. It's mad. It's mad how cheap you can get a Ninja 650 these days. It's such a shame on this bike though, how even though you've got a load of top end horsepower, you only really feel it kicking in at just after 9,000 RPM, which is a shame. It would have been nice if it had a slightly wider power band that you could access. But hey, I'm being really nitpicky there, you guys. The GSX-8R from Suzuki. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Definitely check out our ride review, you guys, of all of these bikes. All right, all the bikes that I've mentioned are bikes that I have ridden personally. All right, and I've done ride reviews on. All right, so definitely go check them out. We've got a whole playlist full of these ride reviews. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check them out for me. But yeah, the GSX-8R. Oh man, it really doesn't get much better. The GSX-8R again, 776 cc parallel twin, producing a load of horsepower, load of torque, and again sustained torque, sustained horsepower throughout the entire rev range. Well, sustained torque throughout the entire rev range. Horsepower you only get again in kind of at the top end RPMs of an engine. But yeah, loads of torque, but it does have more displacement. It's got just over 100 cc, well, it's 110 cc ish more displacement than this bike does, so you kind of expect it to have a little bit more punch. But that's the crazy thing about this RS 660, it can hang with that bike 100%. This bike can keep up with the GSX-8R. I have no doubt, you guys. Again, it's mad. How are Aprilia doing it? How are they pushing so much power out of this little engine? It makes no sense. It's such a small engine. Well, I suppose, I don't know, it was inevitable, wasn't it, that this kind of development was happening. But that's why I want Aprilia to keep developing this. And I want other manufacturers to get in on this as well. Keep pushing what the parallel twins can do. Because if we can get to that point where they're producing more torque than a 600, but they're producing the same amount of horsepower, these bikes are going to be sick. Because they're already producing more torque. These parallel twins are already producing more torque. The thing they're missing out on is RPMs and horsepower. If they can push the RPMs a little bit and increase the horsepower to 115, 120 maybe, they'll be... these bikes would be some of the best bikes ever made, honestly. But yeah, the GSX-8R, this is a tough one, because I really like the GSX-8, and that bike again is coming in a little bit cheaper than this as well. I think it's about 9-10k. So I mean, it's coming in a bit cheaper than the factory here, but it's about the same price as the original RS 660, which I think Aprilia is still selling from here. I'm not sure. Might be new old stock at this point. I'm not sure if this bike is replacing the original RS 660. But that's really tough. The tech package in this bike is better than on the GSX-8, and you're getting these Olins, you're getting the Brembos. You're getting so much tech stuff in this bike, and if that's what you appreciate, if you appreciate tech stuff, then I think you would take this bike over any other parallel twin on the market right now. But in terms of riding experience, would I take this over the GSX-8? Man, that's such a tough one. I don't know. To be honest with you, I think it's a draw between them. Looks-wise, I think I prefer the looks of this a bit more than the GSX-8. Ever so slightly. But not by much. It's such a tight race between these two bikes, you guys, that I don't know which one I'd pick on any given day. On some days it would be this, on other days it would be the GSX-8. But I think it's only fair if I give them a tie. It's got to be. I mean, the thing is, so if I took the Tuono 660 and the GSX-8S, so the naked variant of the GSX-8, I would take the GSX-8S. Actually, would I? Oh god, I don't know. I've made a mess of it, you guys. I don't know which one I'd pick between those two either. But yeah, between the RS 660 factory and the GSX-8R, it's a tie. Riding experience wise, it's a complete tie. I don't know which one I would pick between the two. But gosh, what else, you guys? There's got to be other bikes that I'm missing here. I don't know, but that's the thing. This bike punches so much above its weight. It's competing against parallel twins with more displacement. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, you guys, how Aprilia have been able to do it. But it's really good. It's really good. Loads of fun. And if you were to buy one of these, you would not be disappointed. You'd be so happy. So happy. Even if you bought it over one of the other bikes that I mentioned, you'd be so happy with this bike. It's unreal how good it is. And yeah, I just hope that Aprilia don't can it. I hope they keep developing and pushing this, because this bike is starting to nip at the heels of the 600s, of the inline 4s at this weight class. It's so nearly there. I can't wait to see what Aprilia are able to do with this engine and, well, with this idea, with this innovation. I can't wait. But I mean, the thing that this bike has got more than the other bikes that I've mentioned today is the charm. This bike has got quite a lot of charm to it, and I think it's because of the firing order. I mentioned this in our ride review, where the firing order is different to a traditional parallel twin or inline 2. It makes this bike feel a bit more like a V-twin, and I love V-twins. The ones from Moto Guzzi are really fun. Again, they're bikes that punch well above their weight in terms of riding experience. They're very good bikes, you guys. And this is trying to emulate that. Aprilia are trying to emulate that experience with a parallel twin, and I think they're nearly there. It's not quite there yet. Again, that's the thing. Aprilia are so close with this bike in so many ways. They're so close. But again, I don't think you'd be disappointed. Even if you have ridden a V-twin before, I don't think you'd be disappointed if you got on one of these. It won't feel exactly the same. Alright, it won't feel exactly the same, but it will be close. It will be close. It's there in spirit. Oh man, you guys, this bike is so much fun. I absolutely love it. I mean, unfortunately, Fraser's at the moment, they don't have the Tuono V4 or the RS V4. They might get one at some point as a demo, I don't know. If they do, you guys will be the first to hear about it, and I will be doing demos on them and doing reviews on them. But if these bikes, these middleweight bikes, are anything to go by, Aprilia got some great bikes on their hands at the moment. As always, you guys, let us know what you think down in the comment section below about the RS660 factory. This is new for 2025. And yeah, Aprilia have been able to give this bike a worthwhile upgrade over the original. If it was just the O-limbs that they added and the new TFT and stuff like that, I don't think it would be worth it. But the fact they've been able to bump the horsepower a little bit, I think that's made it just about worthwhile for me. It's very, very good, you guys, and I think the competition have a lot of catching up to do. Again, the only real player in the space right now is Suzuki with their GSX-8. So I hope that more players come into the game, or if Yamaha can improve their R7, even if it's just giving it a few more RPMs and a little bit of extra top end horsepower over the MT-07, that would be worthwhile for me. I think that would totally change that bike for the better, and it would make the competition between the R7 and this a much tighter race. Yeah, you guys, I have thoroughly enjoyed my time on the RS660 factory. I think it's a fantastic bike. It's so much fun. I really enjoyed the original, and the fact that Aprilia have been able to do just a little bit more with it, I think it's really great. It's so great to see, even though the price point is a little bit eye-watering. I still think Aprilia have done just about enough to make this bike a worthwhile purchase. But yeah, thank you ever so much again, you guys, for joining us on today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. And don't forget to check out our ride reviews and the other bikes that we've done on the RS660 factory, on the Tuono 660, and on the original RS660. I'd really appreciate it. And huge thank you again to Fraser's for letting me show this bike off to you guys once again. But yeah, that's going to be everything from us today, you guys. Thanks again. You take care. Ride safe. We'll catch you all in the next video. Have a good one.